Alright boys, we are back. Trial of Chaos. Comprehensive guide. We just ran 30 of these on stream. I wish we could have gotten a big ol' sample size. I wish we could have got and this guy wants to trade me the second we start. I wish we could have gotten a bigger sample size. But we just ended up running 30. We got pretty average returns on the runs today. This is what we walked away with. I'll liquidate this all into Divine. I just wanted to show you what it looked like prior to that. Yeah, I'm going to go over how you make currency during this, whether or not you should kill the boss, what mods are good, what mods or debuffs are bad, what I'm thinking about while I'm playing. I got tips for all the annoying rooms. Yeah, we've got a super special secret that we're going to put you onto. That you have to keep a super special secret because we don't want it to get patched. We did the boss kills. We didn't purchase any of the fates to do them. We just took the fates that we had and ran them to kill the boss. We didn't walk away with an adorned or anything. I think we killed the boss 7 times. So from 7 runs, we got 4 of these. I'll even ID these for you. Let's see if we got the divine one. This one's the Chaos Orb one, the Exalt one, Blacksmith Whetstones. Okay, yeah. So basically, you put these in your trial, and you get a return of double your investment. You can sell these. There's a really good one where you can turn 3 divide into 6. But yeah, this is just the intro. I'm gonna liquidate all this. I'll come back with the results, and then we'll break down how to do the trial in the most efficient way possible. So yeah, enjoy the video, boys. Drop a like, comment, sub. Thanks for all the support on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, see you on the other side. 2 seconds. Alright, while I was liquidating these, I realized it'd probably be worth it to be transparent. 784 of these Exalt orbs. Whatever my total Exalt is at the end of this, subtract 784. This is my actual currency tab. I didn't take any of the Trial of Chaos stuff, rewards. All the sales I made, I made sure to separate those Chaos and put them over here, just to make sure that our gains were optimal. But I'm running out of inventory space, so I've liquidated all the soul cores and all the chaos orbs was the last thing I just hit. We've got this burn over. When I liquidate these into div, whatever my total is, we have to subtract 784 from it. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that in for 2 seconds. I'll get back to you with like the official final takeaway. Alright, we're back with our final takeaway. This is after I liquidated all the boss fragments, soul cores. That's like the main appeal. Is these soul cores. Our 7 boss kills didn't yield anything crazy other than these. Not even going to bother price checking them. I would rather just run them. Currency print that way. I would assume that on trade that these are listed so that you can't make a profit off of them, because why wouldn't they just run them? It's guaranteed money. We walked away with 4 div that we got out of the trial window and raw drops, and then these 12 div, 52 exalt, and the rest of this bubblegum currency, and this skill gem we got from the skill gem we dropped off a monster, but the rest of the currency we got just from liquidating the soul cores and the leftover boss fragments. Again, we did not pay for boss fragments to go kill the boss. We just ran the ones that we got, and we happened to have 3 left over. But this was 7 hours, 20 minutes of gameplay, but I was streaming, reading chat the whole time. Wasn't super locked in. But 30 runs, all 30 of the runs were level 80, 10 trial chaos. And yeah, this is the takeaway. This is what most of the people care about anyways. If you want to just run these, you can just blast them over and over. But now the rest of the video is going to be breaking down how we view it, what our thought process is, what logic routes we follow to make it more efficient. And yeah, so this was the takeaway from 30 runs. But let's get into the rest of the video. Okay, I'm going to go jump into a trial. I've got some tips and tricks written down. And yeah, I'm just giving you another little brief intro before I run on the trial. I'm going to try to replicate some of these things, replicate some of these bugs, and I'll get back to you with some super useful tips and tricks. And one of them that you have to keep secret, because, yeah, type in the chat, what is the first rule of Fight Club? I'm pretty sure we can all keep a secret here. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. It'll save minutes off of all of your trials, and you'll thank me later and call me the GOAT. But you can't tell anyone about it. That's the only rule. Alright, I'm going to jump in the trials, try to replicate some of this stuff. BRB. Alright, first pro tip I got, this actually applies to every single floor. In the event that you finish the floor, you're going to get a little thing that says like room completed or something like that. If you immediately walk on the elevator, it's going to take forever for this elevator to start, but if you wait for the button to raise, you can immediately go up the elevator. If you were to walk on this early, let's see if I can replicate it like this. If you were to walk on it, okay, ignore that. If you were to walk on it or stay on the button immediately, the button actually won't sink in for a long time. So we're just not going to move and see if I can replicate it. You see how this button isn't sinking in, we're not going up. And now it goes. If you wait for the button to raise initially after completing a floor and just walk straight onto it, you'll immediately raise up like we did at the start of this clip. And that's for every single floor completion. So when you complete the floor and this drops down, wait a second and then walk onto the button. Because if you hold your character on top of the button before or after it raises the entire time, it's going to take forever. So that'll save you like 5 or 6 seconds on every floor. Alright, so this room, nobody likes it. It takes a really long time. The only real pro tip I have for this one is if you had 50 hazards on screen and you're like dodging them the entire time, none of the hazards can actually spawn where this elevator is, the elevator that you came in on. So, I'm not sure if the blood globules can because those aren't static to the map, but say you had storm charge runes. If you stand right here, they will never spawn over the top of your head. The second we run out here, I think the blood thing will spawn now. Yep. And you dodge that one just by walking under it. If you stand on this elevator, it will never spawn and you're completely safe from all hazards. But if you get the blood globule to spawn over your head, for example, and then you walk over here, it will follow you. So keep in mind that if you stand here, you're completely safe from all of the hazards. None of the hazards will hit you on this elevator button, the one that you came in on. So keep that in mind. None of the hazards will hit you here. Outside of that, trying to make this go faster, there's no way to do it. And notice the second we walk off that, then this spawns in. But yeah, the elevator is a safe spot on this map. Or on this floor, whatever. I'm explaining these like shit, but you get the point. Oh, also, probably a good time to mention this. In the event that you make a trade, like somebody whispers you for a sale, the way that you make trades in this, if you didn't know, is you create your portal after you invite your whoever the hell. You go to the ziggurat encampment. Don't go to your hideout. You'll lose your portal and have to walk all the way through the beginning of the trial again, past all those floors you completed. You'll have to pull all the levers all over again. You port out in those intermittent rooms. You go to your stash, you grab your item, you make your trade with your player or whatever, and then you go back through your portal. It'll put you right back in the trial where you ported from. Whatever you do, don't go to your hideout. Don't go to your hideout. Don't go to your hideout. If they teleport to you and they go to the chaos trial, it'll say trial of chaos. Just go to town, go to the ziggurat encampment, whisper them, tell them to teleport to you again. That's how you deal with that. Alright, perfect. This is the optimal way to use Impending Doom on this annoying ass map. If you notice, Impending Doom actually spawns from the center of your character. And if you want to walk this statue without having to wait for this Impending Doom to go off and wasting all of your time, if you stand behind the statue, the Impending Doom will spawn on your character like this, and then you can stay in front of the red Impending Doom circle forever. And after this one blows up, you just want to make sure that you're on the back half of the statue. So if you look at this circle, this blue circle that we're in, we're on the back half of the circle. That way the Impending Doom will always spawn on our character, and then we can walk in front of this red line that does damage when it goes off, and keep moving the statue forward. So that is how you walk Impending Doom statue, whatever the hells you call it. More garbage explanation. You get the point. Stand on the back half of the circle. You can stay in front of the Impending Doom blast forever, and you don't have to hesitate. But yeah, there's no way to do these trials any quicker, unfortunately. I wish I had more tips than that. That's the only one I could think of for this escort trial. But if you stand in front of the statue like this, I'll show you. Because it starts from the center of your character, you won't be able to get in front of this. We bent a corner with this one, so it's a little bit different, but you have less room to play. And then if we like walk out of this bubble and the statue drops here, now we're just wasting all this time. So stay on the back half. It's pretty straightforward when you understand how this Impending Doom shit works, but if you have to take Impending Doom and you have these escort missions, if you don't follow that trick, you're going to be making the statue drop 45 times over and over and over. So that's the Impending Doom trick on the statue rooms. Alright, first boss, it's the bird boss. My character is hilariously overpowered. I guess I'll just run around the boss room and just yap about his mechanics for a little bit. I won't even try to damage him. Yeah, he can be pretty annoying. He has a few attacks that suck. None of them should one-shot you, but he has that one where if you were to take whatever it's called, whichever that modifier is that gives grasping vines, that one's pretty annoying. But for the most part, just stay behind him. Obviously we're one-tapping him because we're hilariously overpowered, but stay behind him. You shouldn't have an issue with that boss. He's one of the easier ones. He'll do the move where he puts a bunch of feathers on the ground and then erupts all the feathers. You can stay behind him every time and dodge that one. The feathers are on the floor. It's pretty straightforward. That boss is like pretty much a joke every time. Okay, this room, another pro tip. Basically what you have to do is kill monsters inside these circles here. If you walk in and out of the circle, the monsters actually spawn quicker. If you stay in the circle the entire time, like I am right now, this like circle on the ground that you have to do the little ritual thing in, they spawn a lot slower. So walking in and out of the circle just makes the monster spawn faster. Once that little blood wave moves from the circle, you know you're done with that one. But yeah, with these, just walk in and out of the circle. The monsters instantly respawn as if you walked into it for the first time. If you didn't notice, with our build they're kind of getting destroyed, but yeah, you can make them spawn over and over and over again instantly if you just walk in and out. But yeah, pretty simple. Really easy to replicate. You can do it on any build, obviously. And if you stay in the circle for the entire time, they take way longer to spawn. So walk in and out, walk in and out, walk in and out. If you do that floor in the order that I did too, you'll end right next to the elevator. So yeah, that's it for this floor. Pretty straightforward. See, if I walk on this too early, I don't go anywhere. And then if I walk off and just walk on it as if the button had just raised, we instantly go up. Go over that one again. Oh, another tip, if you're a coward, you can click on this preview rewards button, and in the event that you get the good soul core that's a Kaba, you can actually end a trial on any of these floors whenever you want, if you're a pussy. So keep in mind that if I'm kidding. If you don't want to risk it, hey dude, it's your video game. I'm not going to tell you how to play. You can actually leave whenever you want. You click on this little preview rewards button, you take rewards, it'll end the trial immediately. You'll get out with what you've earned so far. Also, before every boss room, you get a well. And as a reward on one of these, you can actually get divine orbs in this window. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier when we were talking about the currency that we made from it. But you can get a stack of 3. I'll show that on screen. Yeah, pretty broken. But if you ever wanted to leave one of these early, maybe you gotta tuck the kids into bed, or I don't know, go pick your wife up from fucking yoga or something. Just press this button. You can leave early. Yeah, easy peasy. Okay, I didn't even need to stop recording because we're right after this. In this Chimera boss fight, if you have blink on your character and before activating the Trial Master right here, you blink down here and then go kill the boss, you'll brick your whole challenge. Every time, make sure you run past this hallway and follow this direction. Do not, before you spawn the Trial Master, because he spawns when you walk near this area, do not blink down here and try to shortcut to the boss fight. You'll brick your whole trial. It'll say whatever it says when the boss spawns. It'll say defeat the boss even after you've killed him because you didn't activate the Trial Master. So keep that in mind. Also, that boss doesn't really have any moves that you need to worry about except maybe the poison shot. Just stand behind him. All of these bosses are so straightforward. You just stand behind them, get close to them, rotate around them. He can actually fly up in the air and be really annoying and jump all around and stuff. The worst part of this boss fight is the size of the arena and his mobility. And if you have a bunch of hazards and you get him on floor 10, it's not going to be the boss that kills you in the event that you're going to die. It's going to be all the hazards on the ground and shit. So keep that in mind. But that boss is a joke. He's probably the easiest of the 3. Alright, this would probably be a good time to show off what it looks like to have 50 hazards on this floor. So we're safe and sound on our little elevator button right now. We have Impending Doom, level 2 Blood Globules, the turrets, the Val Omnitect, and the Heart Tether. The second I walk off this button, all that shit's gonna spawn in. You're gonna see how much more hectic this is. So all of this shit just spawned in. We've got the Heart Tether inside the Impending Doom circle. So yeah, if you ever want a freebie on these rooms, just stand on this button and you're safe and sound. But the second you walk off, all of this shit's gonna spawn back in and just fucking harass you this entire time. Yeah, so stand on that button. Don't forget to stand on the button. This is just a good display of how hectic this can get if you just take only hazards. So at the start of this trial, we're actually gonna have to pretty much AFK because we just got all the horrible shit spawning on us at the start. Yeah, we've got about 50 hazards. I didn't try to make this as difficult as possible, but I was trying to use some of these as like teaching devices. But yeah, these statue rooms can be pretty scary if your character's on the weaker end. But the Impending Doom trick is a lifesaver, because so long as you're not going to die to the rest of the hazards, the Impending Doom will just allow you to not stop moving forward. Because if you got to stop for any reason and the statue drops down, all of these hazards are going to be that much more annoying because you're going to have to deal with them. But so long as you can just keep moving forward, these aren't the worst. These are the rooms where you're going to burn a lot of your flasks if you took drought, so keep that in mind. Yeah. But these aren't so bad. Just play smart. Oh, also, Impending Doom, after you complete the trial, does not blow up. So you don't have to stand in the circle like a burger. It vanishes. The second the trial's been completed, the Impending Doom circle that was on the ground does not detonate. Alright, we cooked up the rippiest possible bird boss. This is the boss that everybody's terrified of. I'm not going to one-tap him just to show you what some of his moves are. But, yeah, this move where he flies up and slams is easy to confuse with another move where he flies up. He actually does pretty good damage. If you got all these hazards, it's a lot easier, or a lot more difficult to dodge some of this shit. But he has a move where he flies up and does a kick attack. That is the rippiest one in my opinion, and all you want to do with that one is get under him. Anytime you hear him make the undodgeable fly thing, you know that he's going to slam and you need to get out the way. So yeah, keep in mind this boss is super rippy. This is the one that everybody's afraid of. I don't know if I can get him to do the fly up and kick attack, but if he does that, you just want to get under him. That was the slam one, but yeah. That boss can be pretty scary. He didn't do the kick attack. I didn't know how to make him do it. If he does the kick attack where he jumps up just like he's about to do the AoE and he starts doing these dash kicks at you, they start in a cone. So assuming he's in the middle of the arena, look at my mouse, just follow my mouse. They'll be in a cone like this, and if you dodge one with a roll, you won't be able to dodge the second one. So the cone is the skinniest by his hitbox. Just try to get under him and rotate around him. If you've ever fought Zesht with a gun attack where he points the finger gun at you and you just rotate around him, it's the same logic. Just get under him. If you have 10% movement speed on your boots, it's pretty much impossible without blink to get over there. I would save my shield charge to do it if you're on shield charge. If you've got blink, blink under him. But yeah, that's how you do that. That's the only move that is actually scary. Obviously his arena is pretty small, so hazards are pretty annoying, but yeah, that's the rippy scary boss. I honestly wouldn't even recommend that you run these and try to farm these unless you can just like 2-tap him, 1-tap him, because he can get pretty scary, especially on floor 10. If you saw my health bar, like what, 3 or 4 hits like destroyed us, and we took some pretty rippy mods. But yeah, and you're also battling with all the hazards on the ground, so keep that in mind. But those are the tips we got for that, and now we're going to reveal our secret. We didn't actually get the floor that I wanted to show it on in this run, but we'll show you the new tech. It's actually not new, it's been in the game since launch, but yeah, we'll show that last. Alright. Rule number 1 of Fight Club. Never talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2 of Fight Club. Never talk about Fight Club. All you gotta do is pay attention to your screen. I'm not gonna break it down for you. We're not getting this clipped out of context. Just pay attention to your screen. I'll do it nice and slow. But yeah, rule number 1 of the Soul Core tech. Don't talk about the Soul Core tech. Thank me later. Hope you enjoy the video. New one's coming soon. Obviously, if you got any ideas, throw them in the comments below. But yeah, don't forget the rule number 1 of the Soul Core tech. Don't talk about the Soul Core tech. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, I love you, I love you. Yep, new videos in the future. You already know. Check out the stream. Thank you for the support. Later, boys. Peace. Later. Alright, I thought I'd be a little bit more thorough about how we're actually making currency during this. Pretty much all we're doing is taking these fragments and liquidating them, or you can run them to do the boss. The chase unique for the boss is the adorned diamond. You sell it unID'd. It's a 1 in 50 chance to get it. I'm not going to make any mathematical claims using your relative drop rates and what your break-even points are. Farm the adorned if you want to farm the adorned. I'll show you what it's worth now. It is 23 div last I checked on ID. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Bang, bang, bang. 20. Okay, they're at 20 now. When I checked them last, they were 23. This guy looks desperate. He listed an hour ago, but this is pretty much what they're worth. Div right now at the time of this video worth like 304 exalt. To run the boss key is around 54 exalt. All 3 of the fragments combined are about 54 exalt. It's got a 2% drop rate. You can go ahead and do the math on that on your own. If you're feeling lucky, you can go play those. I didn't go out of my way to buy them like I mentioned before. If you're feeling extra lucky when you drop one, you ID it. You have like a 1 in 5 chance to break profit on this. So if we search identified, yes, and search again, the bad ones are worth literally nothing. This guy's price fixing, by the way. This isn't actually 10 exalt. But the really good ones are incredibly expensive. You're not going to drop 100 or a 99. I'm just breaking it to you now. Hate to be that guy. The likelihood that you ID it and it's this good is very, very, very low. I've ID'd a disgusting amount of these, but yeah, if you're feeling froggy, you know, maybe go crazy. But it's looking like, yeah, about 70, around 70, pretty much a 1 in 5. A 1 in 5 that you're going to profit in the event that you ID it. I wouldn't go for it, but yeah, that's how that works with those. And outside of that, the soul cores that you're looking for, Takaba is just about 1 div. Azkappas aren't worth anything anymore. Jaquanis are a third of a div. These ones are like 17 exalt. We'll just call them, they're slightly better than the other ones. They're like 30% better than the rest. These ones are worth a little bit more than the others. Like, I don't remember what they're at, like 10, 11, something like that. And the rest are all horrible. But if you're really addicted to gambling, you can take all the really bad ones and throw them in the reforging bench and pray for a Takaba, but that is actually just gambling. The math on it is horrible. But it's like 21 exalt to press the button, so it's up to you. But that's how the money works. And you get 3 per trial. You get 1 on the 4th floor, 1 on the 7th, and 1 on the 10th. So every 3.33 floors, you're getting a soul core. And in the trial windows, you have a chance to drop a stack of divine. I mentioned it, or I mentioned it later in the video because I'm actually recording this after we recorded the whole video. But you can get 1, 2, or 3 divine in the window. You can get them as early as floor 6. That's the soonest I've seen a divine. And then obviously your monster killing. If you take the rare monster mod like we talked about earlier, monster killing can drop you currency just like in your maps. But yeah, rarity not super important. I have 118% character rarity. It's not going to influence your drops all that much. We're making most of the currency from the soul cores. So, yep. Enjoy. Get into the rest of the video, I guess. Here we go. Okay, first things first, the most frequently asked questions I get are, okay, what are the bad modifiers? Give it to me straight. If I'm good at the game, what do I need to worry about? I'm just gonna quickly go over these so I don't have to give you like infographics of it all on stream. On the video. Funny. Um, I'll just tell you immediately my knee-jerk reaction to these, what I think about them, and which ones I would take and on what floors. Reduced recovery is irrelevant. Reduced recovery 2 is irrelevant. We use Eternal Youth. Eternal Youth, if you don't know, allows you to use your life flask to heal your energy shield. So that recovery nonsense is irrelevant to us. I'll even take the second one, don't really care. Lesson reach, if you're using AoE or projectile speed, this one feels really bad, but realistically it's not messing up your damage in any real significant way, assuming that you can kill the bosses regardless. Time paradox is a freebie. We don't care about this one. I'll mention time paradox again when we get to it, but on its own, it's irrelevant. This one's a freebie. Doesn't matter. Damage defenses, I'll avoid just because you actually have to pay attention when you take this. For most of you, it might not matter. I don't think that this one is like super horrible. I wouldn't take the second tier ever. Reduce resistances, this one's a freebie. The first one's a freebie. The second one even feels like a freebie. All these monsters are level 80, so it's not like they're fucking destroying you with damage. Drought is iffy. If you have a lot of hazards and you pick drought on like floor 5 or 6, you're gonna feel it. You get a well on floor 4, 7, and right before 10. So keep in mind that if you're relying on your flasks or charms, drought can feel really bad. If you take this on floor like 8 or 9, it's not a big deal. It's a freebie. But yeah, drought is an iffy one. I'd be careful taking drought. If you've got other options, go with the other options. Escalating damage taken to me is pretty irrelevant. My character's super tanky. I don't really worry about this one. If you pair this with Impending Doom, it's pretty bad. It can actually one-shot you. But yeah, escalating damage taken is... It depends on how strong your character is. This one is irrelevant. Monster speed is irrelevant. If your character's really weak, you might make the bird boss that kicks tornadoes at you a little scary. But I wouldn't worry about monster speed all that much. This one's kind of a freebie. Chaotic monsters, the first tier, this is free. I don't care what your chaos res is. Gain 20% of damage as extra chaos is a fucking joke. I'd be careful taking the second one. It depends on what your chaos res is. In good faith, I can't recommend that you guys take this. I personally don't care, and I would take it, but I don't know how strong all of your characters are, so yeah, that one's that one. Deadly Monsters and Deadly Monsters 2, these are free. It sounds scary, but the monsters don't do that much damage anyways. These are freebies. Worst case scenario, you don't have a bleed charm, you get hit with a big fizz attack that turns into a crit and you get insta-killed, but if you run a bleed charm, you don't have to worry about that. And in this event, Toxic Monsters with Deadly Monsters, this is where it can get a little scary. Just run a bleed charm. Other than that, this one's a complete freebie. We have 62 chaos res, so I don't worry about that one at all. Resistant Monsters is irrelevant, doesn't matter at all. Don't worry about this whatsoever. You're not even going to notice the difference. Ignore that one entirely. Take it whenever you can, it's free. Unstoppable Monsters is also free. Don't care what build you're running. You're not going to notice a difference in gameplay with this one. Shielded Monsters, you're not going to notice a difference in gameplay. This one's also free. Entangling Monsters, you're not going to notice a difference. This one's pretty free. You can get chained with Entangling Monsters against the boss that has the hatchling that jumps out of its chest. And there is a chance that you die because there's this attack that he does that counts as a hit, and it like spams from the sky dropping like gunk on you or whatever the fuck you call it, and you can get chained with grasping vines and you can't go anywhere. So keep in mind that that's like one use case where this one's bad, but I take this one every time. It doesn't matter. Enraged Bosses is irrelevant. I don't know what percentages are behind this, but this one feels like a joke. I don't notice a difference ever. Lethal Rare Monsters is the best mod for you in the game. This one is actually a buff. If you know how rare monster loot drops works, giving rare monsters an additional modifier is a good thing. If you've seen this as a prefix on a map, it's because it's a good thing. They're dropping more loot. Increasing the amount of rare monsters that you fight is just going to drop you more loot. Anytime this is on your screen, you take this. This is the only one I can think of that is just an objective positive. It is just a positive. I think this is intended to scare noobs in the trial, like early, in like the campaign and whatnot, when people were getting their points. So keep in mind that this one is literally free. You should always, always take lethal rare monsters over any of these other ones that are freebies. By the way, when I call it a freebie, I mean that it's not like changing your gameplay enough to not take it. These two don't exist. They're just in the DB. Volatile Fiends is the only one that we never take under any circumstance. Volatile Fiends does percentage-based damage, and it doesn't matter how tanky you get. Every time you kill a monster, it's going to spawn a Volatile Fiend, and they do a lot of damage. This is pretty much the only way that I can die playing these trials with my current character. Do not take this under any circumstance. On tier or floor 10, it's not the worst thing in the world because you just have to dodge one big bomb after you kill the monster. But it's not worth taking. It's not worth the risk. There's always a better option than this. Heart Tethers is annoying. Heart Tethers 2 is also annoying. All these really do, though, is take time away from how long your run is. I don't think that they're necessarily bad. They're just annoying. We'll get into Impending Doom after the Stormcaller runes, but Impending Doom also just adds time to your trial. It's not going to kill you if you're like paying attention. Stormcaller runes free. All three of these tiers free. Freebie, freebie, freebie. I don't know when the last time I was actually hit by a lightning bolt from one of these. I activate them all the time. I get bored and run over them just to activate them to look at something while I play. Stormcaller runes are completely free. Don't affect your gameplay whatsoever. Impending Doom is kind of a joke. It hits for like 1500 or something, but it's fizz. So if you've got armor, you don't care about this one at all. I have 0% armor, so I try to avoid taking it just because it's annoying. If you stand in the center of it, it doesn't affect you. Impending Doom 2 does more damage. I think it pops twice. But yeah, I'll show you a trick with Impending Doom later. I'll take it on purpose and just give you a breakdown of how to play around it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Just annoying. Blood Globules, they're also annoying. The second tier leaves a pool of blood on the ground, which is kind of cringe, but they're a joke. You can like run under them and run the opposite direction, make them proc, and just move. These are free. Val Omnitect is free. I don't think this has multiple tiers. I think it's supposed to, but it really doesn't. Pyramid Beams, these are rippy. They inflict corrupted blood. You can actually get a corruption on a jewel that has immune to corrupted blood and avoid these entirely. They wouldn't deal any damage to you other than the fizz, but these are cringe. If you're good at the video game, they're a non-factor. I don't mind taking them, but I wouldn't recommend that you guys take them. I don't know how good you guys are. I don't know how strong your characters are. I would just say avoid Pyramid Beams if you can. It's one of the worst ones. Petrification statues are cringe in the event that you have Time Paradox as well. The Petrification statue will petrify you for, I think it's 4 or 5 seconds. And if you have Time Paradox, it doubles that, and it'll get you killed. It'll get you killed. They've actually nerfed how many of these spawn. So some of the floors used to be like infested with these statues. They're not anymore. All you have to do is not look at the statue, point your cursor away from the statue. If you're on controller, these are probably horrible, so I wouldn't take them if you play on controller. They're really annoying on the floors where you have to escort the statue. They're in like weird little angles and whatnot, so these are an avoid for me. It just adds an unnecessary difficulty to the game. But they're not the worst. If you have Time Paradox, do not take these under any circumstance. It's horrible. Stalking Shade, just annoying. The likelihood that you fail a run because of this is very low. On the floors where you have to socket soul cores, you go grab the soul cores and you socket them into the altar. These are really annoying because it'll just camp the altar and you have to run around like a fucking idiot dodging this. And on the escort the statue ones, this idiot just follows you around and just keeps swinging at you. Really annoying. Don't take it unless you're on like the 7th floor. It's not going to end your run, but it's just like, yeah, unnecessary difficulty to the trial for no reason. And both of the turrets are free. These don't exist. Ignore these. Both of the turrets are free, complete joke. Take them whenever you want. But yeah, the real annoying ones: stalking, shade, petrification statues, pyramid beams, and volatile fiends is the one that you never take under any circumstance ever. Legit the worst one in the game. It will kill anybody. I don't care how good your character is. You will get fucking destroyed by these. But yeah, that's how we feel about the mods. That was 10 minutes of yapping, but refer to this whenever you want.